Okay, what's going on, everyone? Last season, after lots of seasons in the league, I officially won my first LFG ring after lots and lots of losing. So this video is just kind of gonna share some things that I thought really helped me along the way, what it took to get there, and some thanks, as this is my last season. I'm officially retired from the league after this. There's like no chance I'm gonna come back, just being honest. It was a great run, but I just wanted to share some things and some thanks. Okay, so I started off, joined the league in season 22. Ferric was actually my first offer, and throughout those times, like we started at the bottom, like Division 3, 4. It was pretty rough, but throughout we really built a good squad. I mean, a lot of the people I still talk to today, but I'll get more into that later. And then I think it was really good first offer because he really put a lot of people on. He kind of had a lot of connections in the league, and it's like LFG is almost kind of like it's like LinkedIn, right? You got to build connections to get your way to the top and play with the better quarterbacks. And I think one of the biggest ways I was able to do that was through Debate Center. Like, if you can see right here, my first application, as you can see right here, ex-Nico ran debate at that time, and I was like completely unknown at this point. This was like 3 months into the league, so I DM'd him at this point. I'd kind of been involved in some other medias. I really made a good application, and I think really that was one of the ways that kind of got me to the top. And throughout the playoffs, I would be playing for Chirac. I wasn't starting on those teams, just gonna be honest, but I definitely, I saw the field a little bit, and I kind of would just hate on Champ in the base center, and that was like one of the biggest things. And we would lose a lot to Champ, like Chirac as a whole, but that kind of got me some of those connections, and really I think brought me to the top. And with Verka, we ended up making D1, like when it was hard to make, because it was the tough divisions, it was the college era, and we were Houston at that point, and that was kind of one of the biggest like accomplishments at that point in my career. And I think eventually very quick quarterback, and it leads into the next little era. So for a little bit, I played with a lot of quarterbacks, like at FO for a season, like was rotating. I played with Airtime Boy, who's actually right now he like runs media. He's a goat. I played with Crested Creation for a little bit, and then played with Trivial. So lots of nice quarterbacks there. Trivial was, I think, the person who helped me the most. Like he had that experience. He was good to play with. And then Graf got snaked by YMVE. At that point, he was kind of like contracting people for a lot of money, and he had paid Snickerball, so he just kind of snake graphed. I'm not sure why. So then I had the chance to snake graft. In our first season, we lost, like made the in-season tournament, but we missed playoffs because Caleb, like the court one, for those who know, CJ, I guess, dropped us off. And then next season, we decided to run it back, and that was our first Final Four. We lost to Core, field goal block. That was a tough one. And after that, at that point, we lost a lot. And we had so many good regular seasons. And in that era, kind of like looking back on it, it was like, why were we losing so much at this point? And I played with, so many of the best players, like all of M2, played with, Chris, so many different friend groups. Like, I've met so many great people on those graph teams, so many talented players on those graph teams. I kind of played, like, that was a really great way to just kind of get, with all the top players. Like, Mundara was on those teams, of course, like the big M2 groups, like Law, Falcon, Just. And I really, had the opportunity to play with so many talented players, but we just kept losing. And I don't think there's one person to blame for all those losses. It was kind of a combination of just some bad luck. And just we couldn't ever get it done, especially against Champ. I think 4 of our losses in like that 10 season span were to Champ, so that's tough. We had a lot of unluck. I think maybe there's some team management things that could have been done better, but at the end of the day, we definitely should have won. Like, we had a lot. Like, we had lost to Charlie in a Final Four. That was our last season together. We had lost to A-Trup. That core loss was tough. Even like we lost to Dreams in his early days, Monster Wyatt. Like, it was just a lot of bad losses, and I think that was a very unlucky period. But I think the biggest thing that I learned from that era is you really have to be smart with your team management. You really have to like who you're playing with. You can't, have conflict in these teams, and you have to understand sometimes you gotta let people go if they're not performing. So I want to talk a little bit about owning debate as well. That's kind of like one of the biggest things that I'm known for. I've owned it for multiple years at this point, and I think really it helped me once again with those connections. Like I said, it's LFG is kind of like it's kind of like college or LinkedIn or whatever it is. You really have to get connections to the top. And owning debate really did allow me to connect, chat with all the best players. Not to be like corny or anything, but I think debate really can help you. If you're, that's why I tell you to really send in a good application. I think Varric's going to run debate now that I'm gone, so he'll kind of keep it the same as I had it. And I think LFG media can really help you win. Like if you're getting put on in media, if you're playing well, stat wise, and stats are a different thing as well. Like a lot of the wide receivers who get stats are good. So if you're a wide receiver, getting stats isn't a bad way to get up there. But DEs, I wouldn't say so. Because a lot of the sack farmers aren't very good at the game, unfortunately, and that's been a thing in the DE con that's kind of been debated a lot, because a lot of the people who lag themselves, whatever, once they play a good center, like Conte, Shroud, Colt, TJ, whatever, and unfortunately it just doesn't work, and that's why a lot of them have consistent losses. And even in Nine's era, when you could one-way, it was a little different, and Champ took full advantage of that. I think that's one of the things that like Graf didn't do as well, going back to our losses. But yeah, like having those laggier DEs who live either West Coast, whatever, VPNing, I think that's one of the biggest things. And now with the 2 ways, you can't do it, so that definitely took away. And I've never lagged. Like my ping's always been very low. So learning how to play 2 ways, learning how to get pressure, but not like sack farming, getting lane, that's a big thing for DEs specifically. So my first season without Graf was with Bombers. It was season 38. At that point, like everyone just kind of thought I was Graf made because I was only known for hosting Graf. So this is a pretty big season for me. We ended up having a pretty decent regular season. This was one of my favorite teams. We had to get off me. It was me, Lockefelli, and Jordan at DE, and then we had Ryguy. Probably missing a few. I know Mustafa was there, Dylan was there. That was kind of one of the seasons. Dylan hadn't made a Super Bowl at that point, but he was kind of unknown, so that kind of got him up there. And then we had Sonic, but Sonic like demanded. Well, he didn't actually demand. He like released Jordan the day after deadline was closed, so he ended up not being able to play, and that was unfortunate. But in Elite 8, we actually beat Finley, which was one of the signature wins. We had like so many stops that game, so many stops. I think we held him to like 14 points. And Varric actually played on that team because Sonic demanded. He had just got back from boot camp, so getting him to the Final Four, that was kind of a good accomplishment for me. I was really proud of that. And unfortunately, Core dismantled us Final Four. We missed like 2 players. Ryguy wasn't home, Laka wasn't home, so that was a pretty bad loss. But I learned a lot from the season, team management, because this was pretty much me running the team. It wasn't Graf. Like Bombers was there, he made some input, but this was pretty much my team I put together. And I think it really, gave me a lot of insight about team management. And after this, I took a little bit of a break. I wasn't sure how I was going to come back. And then Final Four with Yose. So Graf, actually, I was going to run it with him. He needed a team. He was coming back. And that team lasted like 2 series. And at that point, I was like, you know what? I have no respectable offers, really. I thought it was just going to be done after the season. So I decided Mustafa was on Yosef's team at that point. Like, that's one of my... We'll talk a little bit more about him later. But I was like, I'll just bench. Like, why not? And then Tito's, he kind of didn't perform well, so they snaked him after like a game on the team, and I ended up playing the whole season. We ended up actually making another Final Four, like so many Final Four losses. I have like 12 total. But we ended up making Final Four. And then there was a whole lag situation in like the decisive play on the game. 2 of us got booted off. I got booted off. It was unfortunate. We had a cheater on the team either way, so it doesn't matter. We would have got FFL'd either way, but still, that was against Champ as well. Champ kind of, I don't know, haven't beat Champ in playoffs, but that's a different story. After that, I took a long break. Like I had made that Final Four with Yosef. It was a great season. I just kind of wasn't, I didn't have any interest in playing, and I didn't know if I was going to come back. I think I took like a 6-month break, and then Varric made playoffs. He was like, you know what, I'm in playoff contention, you should come back. I had a little bit more time at that point, so I decided, let's run it. We lost the Dream Sweet 16. It was a good team. It was like, it wasn't like a stellar team by any means, but it was fun. It was a fun game. And then the very next season, I ran it with Yosef, and this team was so fun. This was one of my favorite teams. Like, I still talk to pretty much everyone The whole team's here, except TJ. TJ was there. He was our center for that run. Yeah, this Super Bowl run, I mean, it was great. It was great, you know? Yeah, not much to say about that. We lost the Dreams, unfortunately. And then next season we lost Elite 8. We missed a lot of players Elite 8. So that was pretty tough. I mean, the biggest things we kind of gained from this loss. I mean, a lot of it was, like, I was filming, like, every single game with Yose the Super Bowl season and a lot of the Elite 8 season, and that kind of really, you can see a lot what teams are doing, what people are doing to win. So his scrambling got a lot better. I think overall we got a lot better as a team, and I think everyone on this team kind of improved throughout that season. And too bad Yosef quit a season later. I would have loved to play another with him, but he's done for good. I'm done for good. It's probably not happening. And overall, I mean, this was such a fun team. And after this, I could have really gone to another top team. I had a decent amount of top offers, but I decided, let's run it with Varric for a little bit. This team was actually really, really good. Later on, this season 53, we had 4 of 8 players in the Super Bowl, and then we had Cole Daly make Final Four. We had Merced on this team. It was me. We had Miko. This was one of my favorite teams. It was such a fun roster. And I mean, everyone was just really good. Varric was playing some of his best ball as well. He was really, really, really good. And then, I say Elite 8 appearance because, I think HRZU probably had a hacker that season, but we lost to HRZU. And this roster was really, really good. We lost Sweet 16. Next season, we kind of missed playoffs. Season 51, we kind of... I'm not exactly... Actually, Season 50, we made playoffs. Season 51, we missed. Then Season 52, halfway through, it kind of just imploded. Realistically, we lost... that was another good roster, too. It just didn't work out, unfortunately. So we just kind of disbanded the team. And at that point, I was with Carpet. I was like, it might just be over. But then, I somehow managed to get all of 713 on Shooter's team. Shooter's team kind of all snaked him. He had no other option. And I was like, let's just go. It was me, Varric, Amir, Miko. We were undefeated until the Final Four loss. We were the Super Bowl champs' last loss. Actually, we beat them by a good amount in D2, actually. And HRZU had so many hackers this season, unfortunately. Really sad loss. We started off really hot, kind of fell apart. But at this point, I felt like it was kind of time to win one. I really think I'd gained so much knowledge. At this point, I was talking. The first... in VC, I wasn't talking throughout my first seasons, my first stint with Graph. And then when I started making callouts, that was one of the things, like Falcon, Chris, those are some of the players who have really, really, are so good at making callouts in the game. And that's one of the things that I think really helps you. I think it really helps you, you know what I mean? And it helps the team, helps the defense, helps the offense, and you got to stay composed, got to stay level-headed in these games that are, really close. So this was such a fun season, getting everyone to Final Four together. It doesn't get better than that. And then season 53, we were the 1 seed. We had a great regular season. The roster's bottom right. I mean, there's not much to say about the season other than it was pretty dominant. We didn't really have, any I feel like competition. Our roster, top to bottom, was really stacked. We played Expired in the Super Bowl. They beat Dream, so it was a good team. It was his first appearance, sure, but it was definitely a good team. I'm going to play the clip just so y'all have it of the game-winning QB sack hit. I felt like that was a perfect way to end, kind of the career on. Because, I could play a few more seasons. I could play a lot more seasons, and I feel like I could definitely win a couple more, with Shooter or someone else. But I felt like there was no better way to end it, on a rain calling game. It doesn't get better than that, and who knows how long LFG will be around for. Volcano in his games, he's making prime time, and then he has, I think, Soccer Universe, and then Islands game, Betet Islands or something. And honestly, prime time's pretty fun. There's a good chance it gets really successful, and he kind of just drops this league completely to focus on his games. So I mean, there's definitely that possibility. These games are pretty fun, and I just wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens. So I'm gonna play the clip real quick. I don't know if he's going for some skip split, bro. This is it.
I need you to stick unless I tell you otherwise, alright? But play a little under.
Ooh. Hero. My bad for quality.
Shooter go in, shooter go in, shooter go in.
Terrible.
Oh my god, let's go. Let's game. Oh my god, I'm ringed. Oh my god, I'm ringed. Double left. On this cut in. No pick. Please run. Slide. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm about to win a ring. Oh my god, I'm about to win a ring.
Okay, so there's kind of the clip. Yeah, like I said, just no better way to end it, you know, calling game right there. Here's a little graphic of me and Mustafa, and then as y'all can see, Legendary Bull ring. Just a great way to end it. So, you know, I have a lot of thank yous as well. So, first of all, anyone who's kind of been in debate, interacted, I mean, there's so many people in the league that are just, you know, really great people. So, anyone who's like interacted with me in debate, media, whatever, you know, I appreciate it. I've been in a lot of friend groups, a lot of people who I'll probably stay in touch with. So thank you to them. I'm probably gonna miss a lot of names. So shout out to the Wild and Out. You know, everyone in there, everyone in that server, in the old one, in the group chat. Like, there's so many. I'll probably miss the names, but you know, Mikey, FaZe, I mean Dior, the Drizzy, Zaux, Ben. I mean, there's so many. I'm not gonna be able to name everyone. Nate. So yeah, so many else. So shout out to everyone in Wild and Out. I'll probably forget, you know, a lot of names. So it's all good. And then everyone, you know, who I've played with. Like, I've played with so many, you know, talents. Like, of course, all the M2 group. You know, everyone I've played with, like in Grass Runner, like Mudara. I've played with him so long. Really, really thanks to him. Everyone on that Yosef team, like Dylan, Waffle. Probably missing, let's see, Dylan, Waffle, Solma's Pancakes, yep, want to ring with him too, and everyone on the Super Bowl team, you know, RPG, Janky, Merst. Yeah, I've played a lot of seasons with Merst. Shout out to him. And yeah, like I said, this is just such a fun team, and to have the opportunity to play with, you know, so many greats. It's been very, very honoring. And then shout out, you know, a lot of the graph people as well. Shout out to Chris. Like, you know, he's been one of the realists. I've known him for a long time. Kind of has a bad rep, which is just false. Like, for those who get to know him, he's just I think he's a great guy. And then, you know, shout out to as well, like Vol as well, and Time, and you know, those people. I know, you know, been a long time in the league. It's not easy to run a league like this. You know, you have to make sacrifices. Gotta make a lot of sacrifices, and it's not easy to do. When, you know, what they do, you know, no matter what, there's always going to be some backlash. So shout out to them. Shout out to Mustafa. Like, he really has been someone, like, I've known a long time. I've played so many. I think he's one of the people that I've played the most seasons with in the league. And, you know, to be able to win with him, it's great. It means a lot. Like, he had 339 yards, 4 touchdowns, 11 for 11 in Super Bowl. It's probably the best performance in history. So, you know, to win us like that, it's crazy. So, shout out to him. And lastly, of course, shout out to all 713. You know, everyone in that group chat, everyone in the picture, really, like Mir, Miko, Varric, especially, like TJ. Like, I've just, you know, the opportunity to play with y'all has been so great. I'll stay in touch with them probably for life. Like, and it's just crazy to think about, like, you know, like, when I started, like, who would have known, like, someone, you know, would have just been able to be such great friends with people from all the way from Houston. Like, that's crazy to me. That's really crazy. Like, they'll be my boys for life. Yeah, shout out to them. And that's pretty much it. You know, I'm not gonna, like, fully, like, leave the app. You know, I don't want to, like, you know, leave that, but this is 100% it for me in the league. There's no chance I'm coming back, realistically. Just busy, have some changes in my life. Yeah, I'll be in the Wild and Out server. That's probably about it. Maybe 713. And yeah, that's about it. And, you know, just take some time away. It will be nice, and I'm glad, you know, to end on the ring's the best feeling. I appreciate everyone, and thank y'all for the good times. Thank y'all.